Hello guys, and welcome to this video where I will show you Hotlap around Mexico, then the setup I use, and finally the race strategy. So let's jump right into the Hotlap. Get the DRS on for the straight, and then coming down to turn 1 you want to brake just before the 100 meter board around 110 meters, going down to 4th, and then as the car is turning left you want to brake for turn 2, going down to 3rd, stay as much to the left for turn 3 and then short shift to 4th, full throttle, and then remember the DRS. Then you're coming down to turn 4 where you're gonna brake just as the 100 meter board goes out of view, down to 3rd, go 50% throttle and then brake in the middle of the 2 turns, where you also are turning in. Watch out for the track limits on the exit, and then full throttle in 4th and then brake as you're turning in, going down to 2nd, cruising into the 2nd apex, where you shift to 3rd and give some throttle. Then you're coming down to turn 7 where you brake just as you go under the sign, turning in at the same time and going down to 5th. In this corner you want to take some curb, more than I did, so turn in early and gain some time. Then shift to 6th gear, go over the curb, trying to stay as much to the left as possible, going into turn 10 where you just lift the throttle to around 50%, no braking, going over the curb, and turn in early again to go over these curbs. Then just remember the DRS and full speed down to turn 12. In turn 12 you want to stay on the outside of the curb going into the corner, braking just before the black box, going down to 3rd, short shifting to 4th, push the throttle all the way down to turn 13 where you brake 5 to 10 meters away from the curb, going all the way down to 2nd, cruising a bit, and when you hit the apex you want to give some throttle. Short shift to 3rd, around the corner, up to 4th, and then as you drive past the black box you want to brake going down to 2nd, short shifting up to 3rd, and then just full throttle for the rest of the lap. Going over the lime, and then that was a lap around Mexico in the time 1:15.824. But with a bit more practice we could gain quite a bit, I think. But let me show you my fast setup. So for the aerodynamics we use 22 on the front and 17 on the rear. For transmission I use 55 and 51. Then for geometry it's all the way to the right for camber and all the way to the left for toe. Then suspension is 2-1, 3-1 for anti-roll bar, and then 6-7 for ride height. Brakes are 150. And then the front tires are 22.5 while the rears are 23.0. So that was the setup, and then let's jump right into the race strategy. So the strategy for this race is going to be hard medium, and you can put around 36.0 laps of fuel. The race setup is a lot different as you want that straight line top speed. The AI had the most crazy speed, so it was very difficult to overtake on the straight without this setup. So you want to lower the wings to 14 on the front and 9 on the rear. Change the on throttle to 54% and then change the suspension to 3-2, 3-2 for anti-roll bar and 4-4 for ride height. The last change is the tire pressure, which you change to 22.8 on the fronts and 21.0 on the rear. Then you're gonna be faster than everyone. But then get some heat in the tires and hit the purple. We started P7, so it could definitely be another beautiful race win here in Mexico. And then we had a decent launch where we just kept our position, so nothing great happened at the start, but we didn't lose any positions either. But after 3 laps we have around 9% tire wear, so each lap is around 3% wear. A normal lap time around this track on the hards is around 1:20.8-ish. Then I also just wanted to show you a clean overtake where the Merc drivers were too busy dealing with themselves. Then at the end of lap 20 you have around 48% tire wear, so go into the pits. Coming into the pit lane you want to brake around 70 meters so you don't exceed the pit limits. Make sure to turn in when it shows 0.5 to hit the purple, getting the mediums on, and then remember, coming out of the pits the tires are gonna be cold, so weave a lot on the straight to get some heat into them. But remember to brake before usual until they're up to temperature. But then I wanted to show you a lap around Mexico with high fuel, where I forgot to show you the tire temperature, so I'm sorry for that. But I can tell you that it felt great, so no worries with the temperatures. But coming down to turn 1 you want to brake just a bit before then in the Hotlap, but still before the 100 meter board. But then I broke too late going into turn 2, which ruined the rest of the corners here. So I had to go outside of the track so I didn't end up spinning. So just brake a bit before than I did into turn 2, and then you're good. But then from here and the rest of the lap is exactly the same as you would do in the Hotlap. So a great setup that makes it possible. When you were on the hard tires, maybe brake a bit before so you make sure you don't end up crashing. But then I will let you enjoy the rest of the lap.
Okay, let's try and overtake them now.
Then at the end of the lap we had around 6% tire wear, so the tire wear each lap is around 3 to 4%. Coming across the line we got fastest lap in the time 1:18.806, so a good lap, but on a normal lap on the mediums the time should be around 1:19.6-ish. And at the end of last lap we were just ahead of Verstappen, only 0.4 seconds ahead going into the final corners. But take a look at the time down to Perez, so me and Verstappen had been so much quicker than the rest. But our fuel load was plus 1.27 laps, so that was way too much. So use what I said at the beginning of the race. Our tires were around 49%, so if you're good at tire management and like to take a risk, maybe do medium soft instead. But then that was it from me. If you want more of this, please like and subscribe, and then I'll see you in the next one.